I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am Levi.
And I'm Shane.
Yeah, and we are back. New year, new us. Just kidding. We're well, I feel like we're mostly the same.
We're exactly the same.
Yeah, nothing is different, especially if you are watching this on YouTube. That's for sure. Do you want to read off our Patreon people before we go too far ahead?
Yeah. Oh, man, the list is getting longer and longer at this point.
Oh, yeah. Tens of people.
Hey. We're getting close to having, like, probably the most at the one time we've ever had.
Yeah.
You know?
That is cool.
Yeah, it's wild. All right. We'd like to thank Adam Pacino, Mark Stadler, Kylie Gangwish, Colby Jordan, Chantel, Colton Zamersla, Kevin Garahan, Andres Vaez, and our newest $5 subscriber, Lord Reverend Professor Rusty J. Lugnuts.
All right. Yeah. Thank you to all of those of you who have given us your hard-earned money, you know. And if you want to be one of those people, you can go to the link tree that's in the description. Click on that, and then I'm pretty sure Patreon button is at the bottom, if I remember right. It's just the Patreon logo, or you could just, can't they just type in, like, on Google, Patreon, West of Nowhere, and it would...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should pull right up, yeah.
So, yeah, do that, and then you could get your name read off, obviously, but then also tell them what else they can do.
Oh, man. You can leave comments
everywhere. No. If they subscribe, what they get access to what? Jesus Christ.
Dude, I don't know why I just blanked right there. Like, I don't
actually know what we're doing here.
God. So every week now I do subscriber only content. There's, oh man, we have episodes that are slated to come out until, man, all the way until like February 7th right now. So there's plenty of extra content. It's a 20 to 25 minute episode. If you're a subscriber, you'll be on there for sure, guaranteed. But you need to be at least a $5 subscriber to hear any of the episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah. Do that if you feel so inclined. If not, you could other ways you can hear some of your thoughts and or names on the show is if you leave comments in the YouTube, which you can find through the link tree in the description as well. We got Kylie running the comments once again.
Nice.
Which honorable mention, because Devin, who was one of our listeners, she told me about a story that she had involving, you know how we were talking about Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, that whole thing.
Yeah.
She told me that she had an interaction with a lady that was very, very confusing. I'm going to see if I can remember it properly, where she works at a bank, works for a bank that also has a branch like inside of a Walmart, right? So like sometimes she works in there. And she said Merry Christmas to somebody, and the lady was like, I don't celebrate Christmas.
Wow.
And then goes to leave and then turns around and goes, but I do like Jesus. What the fuck, man? So, recalling that story, I feel like that person might have been, oh man, there's like a branch of Christianity that doesn't do like birthdays or like holidays proper, and I can't remember which one it is, but somebody will know, but I can't think of it. Anyway.
They don't celebrate
like birthdays, or I don't know if Christmas is included, but maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm thinking maybe that lady was one of those. I don't know. Anyway, back to the comments.
Yeah.
Kylie, just off the bat with The Mist in all caps, because we talked about the movie. And this is a ongoing occurrence. She's got an obsession with the weather phenomenon that is mist.
Yeah. Okay.
Like and inappropriately so, because it'll just be foggy, and she'll go, "The mist," or she'll just send me a snap and it's mist in all caps, and it's like, bro, that's just fog though. Like, which I guess isn't the only difference between the two is when it's also raining. Like, it's foggy and raining. Would that be? I don't even know. But
yeah, I mean, isn't fog a type of precipitation?
Well, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I feel like fog doesn't leave that like substantial water particles though. For me, mist is like a type of rain. Like, it's misting, like it's like actively leaving a lot of water particles all over everything. But maybe I don't know.
Yeah, fog is not a form of precipitation because it does not fall from the sky, but rather forms when water droplets condense near the ground.
Okay. Interesting. So what's mist then?
How is it not yeah, right? Hold on.
Now I'm inclined to know. Now, I've never actually looked this up on my own either. This is just my own thought process, but I just assumed, since you get like the mist mode on your sprayer nozzle, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
fog and mist are both meteorological phenomena that affect visibility. Fog is defined as obscurity in the surface layers of the atmosphere, which is caused by a suspension of water droplets. Mist is defined as when there is such obscurity and the associated visibility is equal to or exceeds 1,000. I don't know this measurement. 1,000 little m. That doesn't make any sense.
a little m.
Yeah, it's like exceeds 1,000 meters. The visibility is equal to or exceeds 1,000 meters.
No, there's no way. That seems like that's
like
like
a
a
lot.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mist is still the result of the suspension of water droplets, but simply at a lower density than fog.
Okay, so fog is like thick, and mist is just like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's a technical term I heard on Weather Channel. Al Roker taught me that.
No way.
Okay, anyway. Kylie continues. She says, I have one acquaintance that celebrates Hanukkah. Which I don't know if she's bragging or if she's just trying to tell us that, like, she's got a diverse friend group,
Yeah.
I have one acquaintance, not even a friend. I hope they don't listen, because they're going to be like, wow, okay, Kylie, I thought we were friends, dude. People that celebrate Hanukkah in the middle of small town Nebraska, gotta be a slim number, I'm assuming, but, and then I can't remember specifically what it was, but she mocked or laughed about how a face you made when I corrected you on something, the 10:27 mark.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you went like that, one of them.
Yeah, because how dare you?
Yeah. And then at 14:26 she said, calm down, Cartman, because I said authorita. Good catch on that. She's always catching these references,
She really is.
Yeah. And then that's $400 back then. That's so much money. Inflation is a bitch, which I don't even remember what we were talking about there either. That was last year. It's new us.
Yeah.
And 42% Taco Bell is going to be selling it in no time.
Talking about the Dorito alcohol.
Oh yeah, sure. Is it 42% alcohol? Whatever it's called, the by volume. What's that number?
The ABV.
Yeah. Fucking having a stroke, I think, right now.
Dude, what is This is the worst I think we've ever done. I don't know what's going on. I'm apparently lost. You can't speak.
I can't speak. Don't remember words. This is going to be a good episode, I feel like.
Oh, no.
And then she continues, me running to the volume to turn this down so my kids didn't hear. Could I just be a much more responsible mom and not listen to this show while my kids can hear? Probably. Will I?
Was
TBD. I think this is about Christmas movies.
when we were talking about how Santa wasn't real?
Yeah, how that fictional lie that people use to get their children to behave during the holidays. Yes, made up. So, then she says that Elliot, her husband, his favorite drink is an old-fashioned, bourbon, bitters, simple syrup, and cocktail cherry, and a giant-ass ice ball. Yeah, that's what you got to do. And then she says, Merry Christmas. And I like the image casting of the flag. You should do more of that. Like when the Doritos flavored alcohol drink, you could cast a few seconds of the picture of what it looks like. Oh, because when I flip my screen to show what we were talking. Yeah, I'm glad that worked out because it was kind of like, I don't know if this is even going to be worth it because it was a lot of work to set up, let me tell you. I had to click like 4 whole buttons and then I had to time it right.
And I don't even know how to do that, so...
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier because I don't have to, like, rely on you unlocking the ability to share screen. I can just do it from OBS, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Yeah, so that's it for YouTube comments. If you want to be part of the first half of our show, go to YouTube and leave comments, reply to the dumb things we say, or let us know mistakes we made, I guess. I don't know. Biggest news of the week. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is now released from prison.
I'm really glad that you brought this up.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, well, so I got into not really an argument, but like a discussion with Natalie about it because, I was like, she's like, everyone's like celebrating her getting out.
Yeah.
And I understand what happened to her was really fucked up.
Right.
But she literally pulled a Charles Manson level fucking...
Yeah,
like
manipulation tactic to have somebody kill her mom for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those weird things, and it's... I mean, I'm not surprised that people are obviously, like, going, oh, good for her. Like, she... And obviously, she did have a crazy upbringing. Like, her life, if you don't know, she was a victim of Munchausen by proxy, which is where somebody pretends that you have diseases that you don't have. And, like, it's such an obscure thing, too. Like,
yeah.
like, yeah, you know how very maniacal and, like, I don't know, you have to be so manipulative to be able to pull this off, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
And it's not like she killed her mom, or, well, her friend killed her mom that long ago. I mean, it was within the last 10, 15 years or so.
Okay.
Right?
I really don't remember the timeline, but...
Me neither. But, let's see. Oh, she pleaded guilty in 2015. So, around 2015. Plus or minus a year, we'll say.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not that far. And, like, in this day and age, like, where people can just look up if, like, your neighbor is telling you a story about, like, some crazy shit, like, some disease. Like, she had told her neighbors... And everybody, like, lied about all of these things about having these diseases in, like, modern times. And it was just, like, nobody was able to disprove it. She had a Habitat for Humanity house or something like that. Like, they lived in one of those. And I feel like they probably go through some checks and balances to get people in those houses. I'm like, I can't imagine they don't. And she still somehow managed to get through all of that, and nothing was wrong with this kid. And, like, so for so many years she was portrayed as disabled, requiring, like, so many like crazy medical attention, like feeding tube, bound to a wheelchair, oxygen tank, couldn't, like, allergic to everything. Just like a walking case of agoraphobia, or like forced agoraphobia. Like you can't go anywhere because you will die. And yeah, and like all of the mental like problems that comes with, like where you're being abused in that way. And then she, you know, convinces this guy to help her escape, but then also kills her mom. And the guy, I'm pretty sure, like, he did some pretty depraved thing. They stabbed her a lot, and I can't remember if he used the mom's body afterwards or if they, like, I don't know, there's something weird and sexual, but I can't remember what it was. Now, that guy's still in jail, but she, Gypsy Rose, is not. So
yeah, because like when I was talking to Natalie about it, she was like, you have to understand like all the trauma she went through. And I was like, if Gypsy had been the one to just kill her mom, I would be like, okay, makes sense, checks out. But when you turn around and convince someone else to murder for you, you're no longer a victim.
Yeah. It's like you have like this extra level skills now that like obviously got some what do you call it, like some manipulation tactics from living with her mom for so long. Because I think that the guy who actually killed the mom was, he's had something going on too, but I can't remember what it was. And I don't know, it's just all very like murky. It's very, a lot of shades of gray in this story, you know. But yeah, so Gypsy Rose is free. The other guy was still in jail. Gypsy Rose also got married while she was in prison. Her husband does look like her mom. Yeah, go look it up right now. He looks substantially similar to like, I don't know, like same nose, same kind of like high cheekbone structure. If you put like a long curly wig on this guy, dead ringer, you know.
There's I'm not getting any photos, but
okay, well, hey, I saw some pictures because he took her shopping and everything, and yeah. I don't know his name, but I guess when I type it in, it only comes up as the guy who actually killed her mom. But husband, yeah. Ryan Scott is his name.
Yeah.
They have like the same exact nose, and it is frightening. So I don't even want to, read into that, but
yeah, they say you marry your parents, you know.
Yeah. I guess good for her. I do see like a lot of people on my friends list that are like, oh yeah, she's free, this is good. And then I see other people that are going like an inch further, and they're like, she's free, I feel like the Menendez brothers should probably be free. And it's like, okay, whoa.
That's
for those of you who don't know, the Menendez brothers did enter in like a claim that they were molested, and that's why they went on their thing. But then like, I don't know, the way that they went about it doesn't read as somebody who had that. Like they were like using their parents' money, going to like Lakers games, and like it's just a really weird way to do it. But yeah, so anyway, that's like the biggest thing I've seen lately. Other thing, you remember when we watched Parasite together?
Yes.
Okay, so the dad from the Rich family.
Yes.
That actor has been found dead. In an apparent suicide attempt. Now I guess he was in some trouble with drugs, and in South Korea, apparently, that's the biggest. Like, that's a huge thing, and, like, if your family finds out, everybody can be, like, super, I don't know, harsh on them, and so he had left a note, but then also, before that, in his, like, dealings with the police, he was trying to convince them to keep it hidden, essentially, right? Yeah. So yeah, and he is a carbon monoxide poisoning, which is, when you basically just leave your car running and maybe put a hose to the window or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Ooh.
yeah, his what are this in one of his questioning sessions, he says he apologized for causing immense disappointment. I'm sorry for my family who are enduring extreme pain at this moment because of drugs, dude. Like, that's crazy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, that's. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, like how strict they are about it. Like,
yeah, I mean, you remember when we went to Singapore and they were like, you can't fucking do anything here. Like, you can't leave gum. You can't even have gum. Like,
yeah,
and
you can't be like, you're not supposed to spit. Like,
yeah,
like,
you can't like smoke in public. Like, just like a lot of stuff. And I guess and like those cultures are a little more ingrained into like upholding your family's name and stuff like that. So, like, taking that a step further and going, all right, well, if they find out you're doing drugs, and everybody's gonna think your family's shit. And, like, I don't know.
It's such a weird concept, man. Like,
Yeah.
if I decide to go off and do something crazy, it should have no
Shouldn't
bearing
affect
on the
them,
rest of
yeah.
my family.
At the very least, you should be like, well, he's acting on his own. Like, he doesn't represent the entire family, but I guess that's the way they look at it. It's like,
Yeah.
you are a representative of your family, for better or for worse, I guess. I don't know. Very weird. It's such a different concept than anything we have over here.
It's,
I don't know.
It sounds like being born into the military without agreeing to it. you
Right?
know?
Yeah.
'Cause right now, if I go out and do something stupid, it's not man does something, it's sailor did
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Even if I'm just in like, even if I have nothing on that says I'm in the Navy, like
Yeah.
they find that out.
You
and it
could be
becomes-
in a town that's not even related, doesn't have a base near it or anything. Like,
Yeah.
like, sailor steals a pack of Kit Kats from blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't have anything to do with that, bro. Shut up. So, do you have Amazon Prime still or no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so did you get the notice that they're gonna start having ads, and then they're gonna offer $2.99 a month in addition to the regular subscription to keep ads off of your thing?
No, I didn't fucking get that.
So yeah, surprise. Yeah, Amazon Prime viewers are going to be charged $2.99 a month if they would like to skip ads. And honestly, at this point, I'm just like, whatever. I'll ignore the ads. Like, I'm not gonna
Dude.
give anybody more extra money. And honestly, there's ads before the shit anyway. Like, if you watch on Amazon, there's already ads before stuff. Not
Yeah.
in the middle, but there's ads before. Like, well, I didn't agree to that either, but here we are.
Yeah, dude, I'm canceling like everything. I canceled Hulu.
Yeah.
Like I no longer have Netflix. I'm probably gonna cancel my Disney Plus. Like I'm just.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so like overbearing, and then it's like full circle now where like everything, you're paying so much for all these extra streaming things, like where yes, you do have more options than you would with a traditional cable package from like 2010 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have more options, fine, but in the end, the same things that people bitched about the entire time, the same reasons why people got rid of their cable for a big portion of people,
Yeah.
because they didn't want to fucking watch commercials. Like, they're like, cool, I can just watch a movie start to finish. It's not dubbed with the replacement curse words because it's on a channel that has to pay with advertising.
Yes.
You know, like FX, where they're all these mother fruiters and tired of these mother fruiting snakes on this mother fruiting plate. So you get that, and then you don't have to watch ads at all because you're already paying the money. And now they're like, no, actually, we're doing all of that again. So
Yeah.
we're coming
What's
full
crazy-
circle.
At least Amazon's being reasonable. I have to say, because
Yeah, $2.99 doesn't seem like crazy amount, but
well, you know what the jump from on Hulu, the jump from having ads to having no ads,
yeah, it's like
it's $10 a month
yeah,
difference.
it's crazy. Yeah,
like $10. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, honestly, dude, I kind of miss commercials. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
Because I pay for YouTube Red, so I don't see commercials on YouTube.
Sure.
I kind of miss them, man. Like commercials let me know what's going on in the world.
So I have Peacock. I got like they had this thing where they're like $45 and you get a year of Peacock, and I said, fuck yeah, that's actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So I have Peacock, and then you can watch channels, quote unquote channels on there, and it's just one show per channel. Sometimes they have channels that are like the Hallmark channel, and then like that's where I watch Golden Girls, and then like and they have like different ones like that. But there's Top Gear channel, there's Office channel, there's those things, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then they run commercials, and I'm like, oh shit, it's nice to have like the little jingles and stuff every now and then. Sure. And I'm not usually paying attention to it anyway, because if I'm gonna like dedicate time to watch something, it's gonna be a movie. It's not really gonna be a TV show, because I don't know, I feel like most TV shows you can kind of watch half-assed anyway. So unless it's like, I don't know, like True Detective or something, where you gotta be like paying attention the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
But and that's on Max, and I don't have commercials on that fucking shit. So anyway,
have you been recently watching any shows, like anything that not necessarily new, but something you had heard of before but just never watched it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been going through some. It's kind of in bits and pieces though. Like, well, I mean, I just started watching. I talked about this a few episodes ago, but going through Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I never finished it. But then there's other shows that I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to watch that again. So I started watching Better Call Saul, because I never really got into that. And then there's another one that I'm spacing on now, but it's been a while since I watched it. But
yeah,
not like a terrible lot.
Okay. Yeah, I've been watching the UK version of this show called Ghosts.
Ghosts?
And it's not like a ghost hunter show. It's like this, like...
Is it that comedy one?
Yeah, it's like a comedy.
Where they like are in the house or whatever?
Yeah. The chick, like the couple, there's a couple lives in this house. At least in the English version, the UK version, they inherited this house from a long lost relative, and the chick can see all the ghosts that live in the house, and it's like really, it's real dry humor. It's nothing that makes you like laugh out loud. It's more just everything, stuff that makes you chuckle. Like
just like little subtle things. Yeah.
I really enjoy it, and because I really enjoy that, I'm gonna watch the U.S. version, which I know probably won't be anywhere near as good. Or I can hope that it's better, like The Office was.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because sometimes it is true. Like the UK version is usually like pretty top-notch, but then you have instances like The Office or like Shameless, where it's just a little bit like it's a little more different, but also a little more relatable to our. Like the references make sense because we live here, you know what I mean? So it's a little more digestible that way. But then, like I find myself watching, like I'm watching Top Gear right now. I'm in like season 8, so I'm like clear back, and I don't know a lot about some of their like specific cultural references. Like they'll have some British dignitary on or whatever to do the star in the reasonably priced car and whatever, and.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy watching them like shit talk like Ford F-150s and like just like they're like they just bash things in such a, I think, a really not eloquent, but like it seems that like a more sophisticated approach to just calling something dog shit.
Yeah.
Like they just go through so many hoops just to be like, yeah, so I mean, I guess if you want to do this and like if you want to be, or if you live this kind of life, then that car's probably for you. And it's like they're describing something that literally nobody lives.
Yeah.
It's just that like really long way of getting to a certain point, and I enjoy it. But nope. Have you watched any new movies lately?
Oh yeah, dude. I watched Space Magnificent 7.
See, I thought you were just like had a typo when you typed that in. I was like, I don't know. I think he's confusing two things, but I was like, no, I've never seen that.
No, so the new Netflix Rebel Moon, directed by Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
it's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
But at the base of it, it just feels like Magnificent Seven in space.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Fair.
and it's very rushed. Like how they pick these people up, it's just very. Let's go get this person, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's go."
Yeah.
Like
There's like
they need very little convincing, and like every single time it happens, they're like, "What can you pay?" And the guy's like, "We're poor farmers, so just grain." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, no problem. We're gonna fight
and it
an
just
army."
resolves right away.
Yeah,
Oh, that's that's annoying.
and the movie's long too. Like it's
Yeah.
a 2.5, almost 3 hour long movie.
And they still rush through like little stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
know there's like already like there's sequels planned, right? Like
Yes, that was part
yeah,
1.
Yeah. So, goddamn. If you have problems where you're rushing things in a 3-hour long movie and you know there's gonna be a part 2 down the like, goddamn.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on more movies on that Army of the Dead. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
because that was fun. Like,
It really was. Yeah, there is supposed to be another one coming.
yeah. So you said you have Amazon Prime. Have you seen anything about this movie Saltburn?
Yeah, dude. Fucking wild. Have you
Dude,
watched it?
Yeah, yeah, dude. That movie, top to bottom, I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, like from one scene to the other, but it flows. Obviously,
It
like
does,
the story
yeah.
makes sense. But I had no idea what to expect. I just knew that people were like, "Holy shit, what is fucking happening?" And I found myself saying that many times during that movie.
Dude,
There's a lot of like shock scenes.
The bathroom scene.
The bathtub scene is wild.
Dude.
Just like obviously they set it up at the beginning, like you are aware of this guy's inclinations and like who he's supposed to be like focused on, whatever. But then they
Yeah.
kind of throw you some curveballs,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, what the fuck is gonna happen then? And then it just like, well, like fucking
Yeah.
100% throttle, we're ready to go.
So I had a suspicion whenever the crazy stuff really started to happen. I had a strong suspicion about him, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure, but the movie wasn't giving you anything to substantiate that feeling.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, I can kind of see why these characters are feeling this way or like what they're saying, but then it's like, and then they just drop like a little more nuggets, like one or two things, and you're like, what is happening right now? Like, and then you're trying to think of like I couldn't even contemplate the whole overarching theme because I'm still focused on like the crazy shit that's happening at like the minute by minute level,
Yes.
and then at the end.
Yeah.
And when it wraps everything up, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I didn't
Yeah.
see any of that coming. Like, you could kind of, like, start to put it together, I guess, if you were really, really, really paying attention. But you wouldn't see all the stuff because they hid a few things until
Yeah.
the grand finale.
Yes.
But, like, right at, like, the crescendo of the movie, like, right at that climax where, you know, where that one thing happens to that other guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, so he was probably involved, right? But like,
yeah.
then you still don't know, and then and you're like, what the fuck, man?
Dude, and talk about the longest con in the world too.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
dude.
he just waited. He was just like, I'll
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. I'll just take my sweet time, and and Barry, is it Kogan? I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. It is spelled
can't
funky.
either. Yeah.
But he's phenomenal. I haven't watched a movie with him that I haven't liked. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
He's very talented. And it's just all over the place. Also, that guy looks like he's at least 40. Like
does look- he
he's
does look
got
very
like those
old.
heavy eye bags, and he's supposed to be playing a college age kid. I'm like, motherfucker's at least 30.
Yeah, because he looked whenever he goes home.
Yeah.
he looked as old as his he looked as
Yeah.
old as them.
Yeah.
I know, I'm trying not to ruin it.
Yeah. God, So that movie was wild, but I did enjoy it. But it was like I was not ready for half of the shit that was put in front of my face.
Yeah.
Um,
Like during that bathroom scene, me and Natalie out loud were both going, "What the fuck?
yeah,
What the fuck?"
yeah. So anyway, if you find yourself without kids for an evening, I would definitely recommend watching it. Do not entertain trying to play it while they're in bed, because they will wake up and walk into the room at the wrong time. I assure you that.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
Because you have some explaining to do. Yeah. Yeah. Did I talk about this other movie? I can't even think about it. Totally Killer. Did I talk about that before?
We did. So we watched that, and it's okay. It just it was just super woke, and I don't mean that in like an offensive way. It was just like her character was just like picking apart everything people were talking about, and you're in the fucking, what was it, 70s?
The 80s. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious, because it's like, obviously she's like fish out of water, and like instead of trying to incorporate that by like, hey man, there's phones have cords on it, isn't that crazy? They're like, we're just gonna show you the crazy things people used to say, and have this like Gen Z, young kid go back to that and be like, whoa, you can't say that, dude. Like, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win this. Like, that's all they said back then. It's fine. You're just gonna have to adapt or die, dude. Yeah.
It was a good movie though.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Real quick, the Blue-Eyed Samurai on Netflix, phenomenal. It's a cartoon though, and then on HBO Max, The Scavenger's Reign, another like really fucking good like cartoon.
Yeah.
So the Blue-Eyed Samurai is an anime in style, and then the Scavenger's Reign is just a cartoon, like a cartoon lost in space almost, but obviously it's different. But it's super crazy. That was trippy. Like, if you are partaking in some stuff, you should partake and then just hit play and then watch your mind fucking explode at certain points. Because like while sober watching it, I was like, dude, I don't think I could handle this if I was like on some kind of drugs. This is insane.
Not that we do those, because we don't want to bring shame to our family.
Shame on you. Shame on your horse.
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow. Oh, man.
All right. Am I the asshole for kicking my daughter out of my house for being pregnant?
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. Well, let's go, dude.
I, 45 female, have a 27-year-old daughter. She has six kids.
Oh my god, okay.
She has 6 kids between the ages of 10 and 11 months.
Okay.
Wait, they're all... I don't know, this is very confusing. Okay. There are 3 different fathers. She receives child support from 2 of them, and she is still with the 3rd one, and they've been together for 5 years. My daughter works part-time, and her fiance is a chef full-time. They have lived with us for the past year and a half due to getting evicted from their last home. The kids and them have our upstairs bedrooms. There's 2, but it's still crowded for 6 children. They're constantly asking for help with phone bills. Just a phone bill?
Okay.
Like, I feel like you were gonna.
They're constantly asking for help for phone bills.
Yeah, and then it goes, my husband and I have asked for no rent, so they're able to save money to get a home.
Okay.
Which I do not believe they are doing. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have put up with loud voices throughout all hours and waking up at different hours to cater to children because I love my grandchildren. I never complained to my daughter because I believe family is very important. It's just that my children are all grown up. My youngest moved out 4 years ago, and my husband had hopes to remodel. We didn't expect them to be living here this long.
Right.
Ooh. On Christmas Eve, my daughter gathered us all around and announced they were pregnant with baby number 7.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Everyone was all excited, but I felt dread. That would mean another child in our home with not much room. I looked over at my husband and could tell he felt the same. We discussed later and decided we were going to ask them to move out. Last night at dinner, I brought it up to my daughter and her boyfriend, and we told them they have 2 months to find a place because we cannot have another child here. My daughter started crying, saying she couldn't believe I'd throw her to the streets for having a baby, and that was completely unfair and not enough time. I told her I was sorry, but it was painful for me as well. But these living conditions were impossible.
Right.
She demanded I give her more time, or she'd go to the courts. And do what?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, if you did that, they'd probably kick you out faster, I think.
They'd probably
right?
take your kids from you.
Also that, yeah.
You're living with your mother, and you're about to have a 7th child. You're not responsible.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. that always seems as like the second somebody's like in the losing position,
Yeah.
and they're like, I'll just take you to court. Like, I
For
don't
what?
think you can, dude.
She said, I told her, newsflash, the courts only give you 30 days.
Yeah.
She said my grandchildren were going to be homeless because I was selfish. She made a Facebook post asking for rooms to rent because she's pregnant and has nowhere to go, and her family doesn't give a shit about her. Am I the asshole?
How long again had they been staying there?
It says a year and a half at this point,
And they were rent free except for a phone bill.
except for phone bills. Yeah.
Okay, and they're both working.
She's part-time, her boyfriend's full-time.
And she's one of them's a chef.
He's a chef. It doesn't say
Okay.
what her job is.
I don't think this lady's the asshole, and honestly, like, it kind of seems like the daughter is lashing out because she's dried up her resources. You know what I mean? Like, she's used this as a crutch almost. Essentially,
Yeah.
it seems like you are taking your mother's gracious, like, kind-hearted nature, and they had the youngest kid leave a couple years before.
Yeah.
They finally had all the baby birds out of the nest, ready to spread their wings of retirement, whatever. And then they end up having to help out, which I'm sure at first she was glad to do.
Yeah.
Sounds like obviously they wouldn't have done it otherwise, but all of these things adding up, like you're making crazy noises, not being respectful of the space,
Yeah.
and God, I don't know. Like, I don't think the mom's the asshole or the grandma is the asshole in this situation, especially where it was like, we haven't been charging them rent so they could save up to go somewhere, and if they haven't been doing that, that's their fucking fault. Like,
Dude, and plus 10 people in one house.
yeah.
Like, that's a lot. And then, they're sharing those 2 upstairs bedrooms. So there's 8 people
Yeah.
in 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
I just don't, like, that chick is, like, I hate to say this, like, whatever, fine, have kids all you want if that's what you want to do with your new person.
Yeah.
But at what point is it, like, not, at what point are you, what's the word I'm looking for, where it
sounds
just
like she's just not being
irresponsible.
responsible. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you already have 6 kids that you can't support, and you're gonna have a 7th. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you're not using your head, and now that your mother has had enough.
And the other part of it is, like, you announce this 7th kid, and you're like, isn't this exciting? No, dude. First of all, you're in this situation, and you had been for however long, over a year at this point, and a year and change, and now you're pregnant again, because I don't know what point in the pregnancy she's at now that she decided to, share.
Yeah.
But she was living there still when she became pregnant. Like, that's obvious. And you have zero plans on what to do. So much so that you have to go on Facebook and to, like, beg people for a room to stay because your mom's being so terrible. You should have been planning this entire time.
Yeah.
And you should definitely have been planning when you found out that you had another kid on the way. Like, do you honestly think that your parents are just going to let your entire soccer team live with them? Fucking 9 people, right? That would be with the 7th kid.
Yeah,
A 9-person family unit in 2 bedrooms upstairs in a house. Like, I don't know what kind of situation grandma and grandpa are, live in. I don't know what their house is like, but still, 2 bedrooms, even big bedrooms. Like, we'll give them benefit of the doubt. 2 14 by 14 size bedrooms.
What have you been
That's
spending
still-
your money on?
That's the other thing. Like,
you've been living there rent free for a year and a half.
yeah.
Where's this money? Where's your money at? How do
Yeah.
you not have any money to go somewhere to actually be
Yeah.
like, you know what? This is gonna be difficult, but we have this money. We can use it to go. Like,
Yeah. You can't even, like, get to a point where you can just put, you know, a deposit down on a rental. Like, you can't do anything. You can't like, I know it's not the most optimum of situation, but you can't buy like a fucking shitty trailer or something just to get out, like just to have something.
Yeah.
You buy a double wide trailer for, I don't know, 30-40 grand.
Yeah.
And they're 3 bedrooms. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than 2.
Yeah. Dude, and newsflash, she's like posting about wanting a room for rent. No one is gonna let 9 people move into one room.
Yeah. No.
It's not happening.
And just like the slandering on Facebook, like that is a key component of a trashy family when they go to Facebook to air their grievances.
Yeah.
Like, in almost like it reminds me of like how back in the day when you know, you would have like the church meetings and then everybody would meet afterwards and then just shit talk the people that they didn't like.
Yes.
Right after just going to church and be like, hey, everybody love each other. They get done and they're like, also, Jameson ith bullshit and his flock sucks ith. And like, what are you doing? Why? I don't care. I am friends with people like this on Facebook, and I'm like, what are you trying to gain? Like, are you trying to get support from people
You're
going,
looking for sympathy. Yeah, you're looking for sympathy.
Oh, how about you just fucking handle the shit? Like,
yeah, that's all you're doing, because you're feeling, because she definitely went on there and was like, I have nowhere to go. My family doesn't care about me. You know, don't just leave out the part that you've been living with your mother for a year and a half with 6 kids and you're about to have a 7th and she's had enough of it.
Yeah, right.
Like if you put that in there, people are like, oh.
Yeah, like let's hear some context to the situation a little bit.
Yeah, no, you're just looking for sympathy. Please feel bad for me because I can't seem to make a fucking correct decision in my life.
Are the people, what are the comments saying? Anything crazy?
So, it must have been crazy because they're locked. It's locked
shit.
and turned off. It said that there was too many rule violations because I scrolled down to see.
Are there any that are left or no?
There's one. Not the asshole, but it would have been better to set boundaries a long time ago. Your daughter and her boyfriend need to grow up, and maybe this will be a life lesson to them. I do agree that it would be good to extend the deadline a bit, but by compromising, you should charge rent, and for instance, saving it for them for a future rental place.
Ooh, that's actually pretty smart. Yeah. Like, all right, well, we'll up it to 6 months, but you're paying X amount of money, and then at the end of that 6 months, you get that money back, and you can use it towards a new place.
So I wouldn't even tell them that.
Oh, yeah, because they're just going to be like, yeah.
Well, I can just keep that money. I don't have to give it to you. I could save my own money.
Yeah.
I'm an adult.
Yeah. And honestly, I can't imagine that they're like, yeah, just move in, and no conversation was had about goals, about moving out. Like, you can't honestly think that this person, like, I know some amazing moms, but like, listen, at 6 kids and mom and dad, and they're all gonna move in, and you don't think that mom had that conversation of, all right, like, so what are your plans? Like, how long do you guys, you know what I mean? Like, those conversations had to have happened.
I bet there's never food in the house.
Oh God, no.
Like,
but do you think that you think they're on like food plans?
I would. They have to be. There's no way that she doesn't have food stamps.
Yeah.
She's getting child support from 2 of the dads.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's that fucking money going?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know what child support's like anymore, but I know I was $500 a month for me, and that was 1990s. Yeah. So
it's higher.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, okay, so that's 2 kids. It, like, as long as the dads are paying appropriately.
Yeah.
Whereas
that's another thing. But either way, like, you at a certain point, there's no way they're not saving money. And if they are wasting this much money while not having to pay anything but a phone bill,
yeah,
where's the money going? What are you doing? Or are you
what
blowing it on
could you
drugs?
possibly be doing? Because that's like, even if the only income was two sets or a set of dads paying child support, which it's not, because the husband has a job and she works part-time.
And I just thought of this. The grandma's probably watching the kids for them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because she works part-time and the guy works full-time, so there's got to be times where they're both not home. So that means this older couple is watching 6 kids for 4 or 5 hours a day, probably.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And in the ranges of age from 10 to 11 months.
Yeah, I think it means like 10
like
months
the old
to 11 years. Like, I'm not
like
really
I
sure.
think the oldest one's like 10 year or 11 years or whatever it was, and then the youngest one is 10 or 11 months. Yeah. Which also crazy. You're like already pregnant to get like, bro, calm down. We get it. You're Catholic. Just chill. Okay.
Oh man. Leave your comments about the story below. Let us know if you agree, what you think about it.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank our friends, the Dutch and Denver podcast, the No New Friends podcast, Kicking It with the Kellys in the Remedy Room. Oh man, what a wild ride.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Tip your bartender.